Well, fundamentals. I think it's the best thing that I learned in uni. Like, what is the best thing you learned in uni? Fundamentals. Yeah, because they had a really like hard way of teaching it. Like they were really strict with me. I that's one of the points that I'll make a video about uni or not uni in the short term. But I guess you need to ask yourself if you're really disciplined with your self-teaching and you don't half-ass it, like, yeah. And also depends, like in my country it is free, like it's a really high grade university that's free, that's public, and it's a win-win. I was also pretty close to it, so I wasn't gonna miss out on not going. I'd rather just go and see what it is, and it was really cool. I even got to drop out earlier because I was already working, right? I had already clients. I actually, when I dropped out, I was like a really nice studio from my city had contacted me to work there because they saw my portfolio, and my portfolio was some works from uni, but I had presented them as posters, something like that, and I had already some clients because I was working on this website 99 Designs that I wouldn't really recommend you. Like, it's not really ethical that that page sort of exists. Like, it really undervalues the value, I think, of the profession of graphic design, because it's contest based. Like, they make a contest, then you upload, you can win, you cannot win. But I was studying. I didn't I took it as practice, but then it took off. I got a lot of clients from that website, but they do take advantage that in some countries, like India, people are just doing whatever and charging $25 for it. For me here in Argentina, that was okay, because I could win, maybe in a month I could win like 8 contests and be making already like $2,000. It's crazy to make that amount here being a student. Like, what the fuck. So that in a good month, all right. But from there I got to develop the portfolio, and yeah, right now those places are really crowded. Like, if you can dispose of that time, don't take it that as clear client work, because the power dynamic is not the same. They are coming there, maybe they don't know, like the clients, they don't know, like they are maybe taking advantage of the profession of graphic design, because they wouldn't do the same for like a bakery. Like, let me try all your bread, and if I like it, I'll pay for it. It's kind of shitty on the graphic design, like career space. But yeah, it worked for me at that time. And yeah, 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 yeah. But also, another key thing that's from university, it's the people. Like, you'll meet people that have your same wants, right? And kind of your same wants and kind of dreams and kind of inclinations, right? You'll meet also people that are quite different to you. And maybe when I went to uni, I had this thing, because I was the most artistic kid in my group, that, oh, you're gonna kill it, oh, you're so good, at this, you're so good at drawing, you're so good at whatever. And then you get to uni and you find kids that lived in a very artistic, in a really artistic like group, and they have a really there's a consolidated group of friends that really grew up around art and are really good. They're coming out to uni and they are already really good, and they know so much stuff. I wasn't really too much into the design world. I didn't know Saul Bass. I wasn't into cinema. Like, I didn't know, like, famous directors. I didn't know famous designers, right? And when I came to uni, I found all these older people that they breathe into the world of design. They really consume it, and I didn't know that at the time, that there was the world of design. I thought it was like, whatever, yeah, graphic design. You go, you study, and then you go on be a designer, right? So that really opened my eyes to what graphic design really is. But if you are here, maybe you're finding out that it is that big, right? And there is that much to learn, that it's so vast, and all the niches that exist and all the possibilities that exist for you to inhabit that graphic design world. So in that context, it's amazing. But also, if you're not going to design school, like, go out of your way to meet people and to inhabit spaces where they share similar problematics as you, so you won't be alienated by your own perception of what graphic design is, and you start to get in touch with people that will broaden your worldview on design and make you a more like wholer person, you know. Yes. It's not mandatory to go to design school. You don't need the degree. Fuck what everybody says about the degree, but I would say the degree is the least important thing, you know, right? Yeah. I got asked actually last year. I got asked by Nike to go work for them. Like, they will fly me out and live there in North America and work with them, but I didn't want that. I wanted to keep creating content and with Design Syndrome and my brand and doing this. Like, this is what I like, and it was amazing to have that opportunity, but it's not what I want, and it's not what I was going for, and I don't have a degree. They never asked me for a degree, right? Maybe they assumed I had it. I have it because of my work, but it doesn't matter really. Well, thanks, Federico. Yeah, I also started doing this because I noticed that there is too much, and I do it too. I do it because I like doing it, and it also works. Like, I'm not gonna play like the saint here. Like, I do tutorials because they work, right? And they are, but although I try to make them in a way like really explaining the stuff from the software, so you actually learn. If you look at the last tutorial that I did, like, to try to think of tutorials as vehicles to learn more about the software than about the effect you're trying to do, right? Like, the similar thing, for example, you're trying to do, I don't know, like, maybe you're trying to learn a backflip, right? Let's just use the backflip as an example. The goal of the backflip, the goal of the backflip can be to do a backflip, right? But I would argue that the most important thing about learning to do a backflip is the initial fear that you have to learn to deal with when doing a backflip. Like, I'm training acrobatics now, and one thing that blew my mind is the amount of fear that goes into every fucking movie you have to do when you start, right? And breaking that barrier, that's what you gain from doing the backflip. Not doing the backflip, right? But the proprioception, the lack of fear, the starting to get to better acquainted to your surroundings, best measurement of space, right? So with tutorials, it's the same. This exercise, the point is not to make some cool stains. It's to get like really fluid and really loose with the way that you create, so you are not rigid, right? I always bring up the exercise analogies because it's something that I really like and I'm really passionate about. And it's kind of the same. When you see people that go to the gym, right? And I used to be like that too. You go to the gym and you're like that, cranking weights, and it's so good and dandy because the goal is to look a certain way. You want to be big, you want to be bulky, whatever. And then when you try to use your body, it's all rigid, right? Because you're not training from a place of experimenting with your body. You are training from a place of looking a certain way, a goal, right? This is the same. We are doing this to get loose and learn to be in that process and do that practice in that specific way, right? So that's the key thing, I feel like. How was your journey in creating graphic design brand? Like my graphic design brand? Thanks, Camila. Glad you liked it. Like, I don't know, you mean my brand or like graphic design overall, you know? Oh, and I got kind of sidetracked in the previous answer. Like, what I meant, how about what Fede was asking about this not being too present in graphic design, like content, whatever. Because yeah, I love to do tutorials in a way that teaches what I just explained, but also, yeah, tutorials work. And if I want to make content that helps the channel, I'm gonna do that, right? Because it works and it helps me get the other stuff that I want to do out there too. So I'm not really thinking too hard of, yeah, tutorials are kind of overdone and whatever, but I don't care. I'm gonna do it my way, and I'm gonna do them regardless, because they help the channel grow. Like they help the channel grow. Like the Chrome tutorial, like there are a million Chrome tutorials out there, I know. And what I did, I looked them up, I investigated them, and then I see, okay, they don't do it the same way as me, so I'm gonna do it anyway, because I'm gonna do it anyway. And that video alone, it's what got my channel like to 15,000 subscribers. I knew it was gonna work, and from that channel, from that video alone, I get to do these other amazing videos that I want to do, and such as this one, and I got the platform for it because of that other video. It's kind of strategy, but it's also always important, and just don't do the same for the sake of doing the same. Try to add your take, your stuff into it, right? Because then, yeah, I would argue it's kind of not a bad move, but it's not helping you really develop. It's the same like this as this exercise. Yeah, I think it more to help people. Like he Charmaine is saying, you love to help people. Yeah, I don't know if I like helping people. I feel like it's needed in the design community and also in social media, to get a point of view out there that's more collaborative, right? I don't want to, for example, through the Discord, sell you a course. Like if you want to support, go get a texture. Like that's the thing. I'm not going crazy about being a millionaire or whatever. I just want to put content out there that helps people make a couple good bucks in the middle. I'm not going crazy about it. But yeah, just trying to help you out, because I feel like I've gotten to a point in which I'm comfortable, and I can't teach you to be great. You can only teach that yourself, but for sure I can help you to be like not bad, right? And get your foot out the door, and from there you're off to the races. I'm sure I can teach you to do that in a way that's more solid. That's not about just effects and tutorials, but fundamentals, about this kind of stuff, about mindset, about things that then you can extrapolate to other parts of your life maybe, and they will help you. Because again, it's getting out of that mindset of result, looking a certain way, labels, the success, all of that, and switching into a gear and mindset of experimentation and play, right? And from there, things happen. And then, yeah, you can go to more specific content and try to consume it in a way that's gonna be more nurturing for you. So glad, man. Really appreciate it. Yeah. The brand itself. Okay, so how was my journey in creating graphic design brand? So my brand. So okay, Design Syndrome started. Before it was just Mauro Jaurena. It was just my name, right? But at some point, I was in this thing, like I didn't want it to make it about myself, because I wanted to do like something that wasn't tied to my name, right? So because I remember back in the day, like a long time ago, when I was learning to use Photoshop, right? All the stuff that I would make would say Mauro and try some effects, some whatever cringe, and I don't know who was that made the observation that everything is you. You make all the effects and all the edits on your image, and that really stuck with me. Like I thought I had this ego or whatever. So okay, I'm gonna make the brand about something other than me, right? So that's why it's called Design Syndrome. I thought about, I don't know what kind of edgy and cool, and design related. So I didn't thought too much about it. Now I do have like a brand philosophy about it, and it's kind of crazy because it fits perfectly to what I wanna tell, right? Make a post about it, but in short, it's I don't wanna be just a place so you can get textures. I don't want to be just the texture guy. I want to be able to help you guys with things that I think have helped me, right? So design syndrome for me, it's what comes after like imposter syndrome. Like imposter syndrome is being afraid of people catching you as a fraud. It's being afraid of being exposed, right? But again, this fear comes from trying to look or being perceived a certain way, right? Like you trying to appear as if you know something other people don't and you're better or whatever, right? So yeah, you're afraid of being caught lacking because you lack. That's a fundamental state of people. We lack things, right? We're not perfect. So design syndrome is the inverse. Like I'm not trying to appear a certain way to anyone. I'm just trying to experiment, and I'm trying to get somewhere, right? A certain vision that I have for my life, and the fear of not accomplishing that vision, that design, right? That fear of not accomplishing the design, it's the fear that motivates, right? So that's the concept, right? Fear of not accomplishing your vision. That's design syndrome. So yeah, it's a pretty gloomy way of looking at life, I feel like, but I am like that. You can see it in the art that I gravitate to, the aesthetic of all that it has. It's kind of gloomy. It's kind of death driven. I have a really like thing with death. Memento Mori, it's something that really resonates with me, and I'm really like motivated because of negative things. Like I don't care about maybe I don't care maybe of the positive that will come if I do the work. I'm more afraid of the negative that will come if I don't do it, right? That was the initial thing. So yeah, also music. So I kind of really gravitate to this kind of dark philosophy and imagery and aesthetic to be a motivator, and not just to be like this cringe, edgy. I'm so edgy, you know what I mean? Like it has a meaning and a way of being, and I want to use design syndrome for that, to transmit a way of being, not a way of looking. You know what I mean? And yeah, the assets that I sell, I love making them. Someone in the Instagram asked if I enjoyed making assets or it was just it was just a way to make money. I started doing assets, I remember, because of Black Market. Everyone knows Black Market. They are amazing. Shout out to KC. And yeah, but I always were one of, if I want to do something, I do it myself. So I started experimenting with mockups, and then I started to put them out there. Like I made them for myself because I wanted to do that kind of aesthetic, and then it kind of snowballed from there. And now I'm just thinking of assets. I have a like all of this. It's just stuff for making assets that I haven't had the time to start doing. Like I have a bunch of stuff here. Like it's crazy. Like it really is. But I'm kind of stuck working on the new website, but it's coming soon. But going back to the loving it or not, I do love it when I'm on it, experimenting and doing stuff like this to maybe get a brush out or an action out, right? But I want to also make this to teach you how to do it yourself, or get into the mindset that you know how it works. So then the asset becomes an empowering tool and not the pen or the pencil that I was talking about in the beginning. Like you use it, but you don't know how it works. You don't know. It's actually limiting you more than what it's enabling you, right? And I don't want that from my assets for you. I want it to be a tool. So yeah, I love making them. I also love making money. I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is. I think there is a mission that's more important than the money, and it's okay. So, and also like that, there was a video about Rick Rubin that said like, because the question already had like a thing like, oh, if you love making money, then the assets are less truthful or whatever. And as I said, the assets are a way to support myself and can keep doing what I want to do, that is this, right? And I also like making assets, but I think they are an enabler for me to do the thing that I want to do, right? And from there, putting out the assets that I want to put out in the time that I want to put them out. But yeah, next asset path gonna be crazy for sure. For sure. I have a bunch, guys. Like it's crazy. It's crazy, but I haven't had the time to really sit down and start working crazy on them dedicated because of stuff that client work that I started doing. I was being lazy, but not lazy, but I was working on other stuff also, like training a lot, being more on point with the diet and all of that stuff. But it's all have been like steady progress. I'm not just now in that crazy workaholic stage that I was before. I'm just going steady and slow, you know. Let me know if you have more questions. Start Q&A. Ask me something. I started the Q&A, but I don't know. Yeah. There is this thing like it's shady that people make money, like this mindset of eat the rich, you know, sort of seeps through when you're trying to make a living for yourself. Like that's kind of frowned upon. I don't know. That's kind of crazy for me, but whatever. Do you see the Q&A, like the Q&A like button in the chat? Also, right now I'm trying to work on my oratory because my words get kind of fumbled from time to time, like they meld together. I need to work on my pronunciation to be a better like communicator and that kind of stuff, you know. But it's really hard. Let me see. I think I had questions from the Instagram. No. Oh, Rovivid was asking my PC specs. My PC is kind of overkill for what I do, but it's a nice workstation. It's a 3080 Ti, a Ryzen 9 3950X, 16 gigs of RAM, GDDR4, and I have a M.2 solid state drive, another that's SATA, and a 4 TB hard drive. Yeah, actually, next video on the channel, it's gonna be about that. It's gonna be crazy. Like, it's gonna be crazy. But I needed to end my latest client work because I couldn't start filming the video because I need to put the PC back together again, and I needed to have finished it, you know. But yeah. Would you ever make a mockup? How to make mockups? Of course, I'm gonna teach you to. I'm gonna teach you to make some mockups. It's really easy. It depends on the mockup actually, but it's totally manageable. Yeah, only 16. Yeah, you have 16 and you run out of space. Maybe because of my graphics card, because it's so powerful that maybe it's storing some in the video memory of the car. I'm not quite sure about that, but I really really never had issue with 16. Yeah. Some more questions. Oh, I see the questions here. I wasn't understanding the modality. My favorite asset I made is the paper cut. Paper cut, it's crazy. I use it literally every day, and it's crazy. I'm gonna do more texture packs, but I'm trying experimenting with AI and seeing how can I make it in a way that's empowering and not just grabbing AI stuff and putting it out there, you know? Like Necronomicon has a lot of AI stuff, but I drew on top of it and I work with it a bit. It's really cool. What kind of movies I choose to see? I love to watch everything really. I really like horror movies like Fear. I really like those kind of movies, like horror films. Love it. My current one, my favorite one is Hereditary from the director of Midsommar, but it's one of the first that he made, like the first really the blockbusters, you know, the first a lot of budget movies that he made. Really cool. What are good fundamentals to master? That's easy. Typography, composition, which would be tension, hierarchy, negative space, symmetry. Those are the things that are gonna give you the most bang for your buck for time spent learning them and the amount that your pieces are gonna evolve. I think those are the ones. Yeah. Yeah. But let me know about you guys. Like, what are you working on right now? What's one thing that you're kind of in the middle of, you know? Right now, I'm sort of training like hell between acrobatics training, calisthenics, and actually starting to go with a friend of mine to do parkour. Parkour is really crazy. I super like it. I really like it, but I kind of don't have time to do it regularly. I'm gonna try to see if I can maybe go tomorrow to do some, but it's really cool because you sort of get like a different it's different, you know, because in acrobatics you are doing jumps and stuff always in a very controlled, safe environment. But in parkour, the fear factor gets elevated a bit up, and you don't have to be doing like really crazy stuff like jumping from one ledge to the other. It's really crazy. It's a jump that on the flat floor you would do it. Like you can jump from here to there. Like it's what half a meter. It's not a big deal, you know. But when you're up on a ledge and there is nothing in the middle really, like your brain freezes. Like the fear makes your brain freeze. Like your legs don't move, right? You want to jump and it doesn't jump. Like you press X, you press like you press jump and your body doesn't jump. That's crazy. And then once you make the jump, then it jumps, right? So that inner working of the body I'm really into and I really like it. It's super crazy. That's nice. But I meant in what are you working on in terms of bigger picture, you know, not just like work, like your career. Like maybe you're working on going to bed earlier, getting up earlier, you know, like that kind of stuff. Yeah, go try it. Like go this weekend and try it. Find people that do parkour and go try it. Yeah. Actually, I would recommend you also look up this guy. In my Discord channel, I put up some videos in the if you go to the you see here the channels. In here I put a lot of videos that I found super interesting and have been super motivating for me. And here this one. Oh, It's not available anymore. No, it's not available. No, I need to look for it. But all of these videos have amazing like philosophic stuff and stuff that's not really designed, that's really make the cogs turn and really make you think, which I think are really good. ContraPoints. This woman is amazing. ContraPoints, Tech, Jordan Peterson, bit of controversial. I'm not such a Peterson dude these late years, but I really love his early phase. Like really, it was one of my biggest influences. Like no joke. Like my father, then Jordan Peterson for sure. But right now it's iffy, you know. Huberman Lab, amazing things on the functioning of the body and stuff like that. And the GOAT, Chris Do, my guy. Chris Do, has been like in all that is like work and in career and all that stuff. Chris Do was the man. Chris Do is the founder of it all, you know. I always see like his videos and I see one of his videos and all of a sudden I want to be a millionaire. I don't know, like I see him speak and I wanna I don't know, have a a top of a Forbes 100 company, you know. I'm Lenorook said, oh yeah, I'm trying to do that, but low-key failing at the sleeping schedule because I had it all right, but I keep fucking it up because gaming till late at night. Yeah, I do the same. Like, oh, gaming, it's a thing because I love gaming. I've been a gamer all my life. Like, when my father got me the PS2, like we were hugging, we were crying because I really wanted that. And my family is like working class and it was really expensive to get it. And they got it for me and we were all crying and whatever. And yeah, I spent hours on it, like no joke. And even to this day, there is not a day that goes by and I don't think about video games. Like I really am on that shit, you know. And I've been having a falling because of that, you know, because I spend so much time on them and sometimes it's not constructive. And I don't mean it in a way that, oh, you need to be doing something productive. Like I love to game and I game, but sometimes I find that I game because I'm so like anxious and revved up, you know, from social media, from work, from everything that to keep that pace of excitement, I turn to games, right? Not to relax, but to keep me hyped up, you know, to stay on that excitement levels. I go to games. So I've tried to change it for reading, and right now I really find a good pace for reading that I really love. I think I got it. You know, when you make the click and oh, you like to read now, right? That's amazing. And I've been playing games now, but more intentionally and less, but still playing games. Yeah, look in my Discord channel. Look at the Huberman Lab video on sleep, and it's really crazy because I would say if I had to give you one advice, like what to fix first, what be sleep, because it really impacts. You have like an entire like your circadian rhythm, which is your natural clock within your body that functions with the light of the sun and also the food you eat. And in that podcast he talks like it's 4 hours talking about sleep, and there is a factor of 0.01 people that have a mutation in their genes that there are really night owls. They need to live at night, right? But the other percentage of people like will work much better in the day if you make it a habit, right? I try to do the 6 a.m 5 a.m, but it's literally impossible. You spend more energy trying to wake up and doing the stuff to get up really really early. But if you do 8 a.m 7 a.m 9 a.m, it's okay as long as you get 8 hours of sleep and you do the work you need to do during the day. It's okay. But I get that feeling, you know, when you get up like 11 or 12 or 10, even 10, and I already feel like I started the day off, right? And it's really a bummer. Yeah, yeah. Besides design, it's awesome that you can share some physical and mental advice. Yeah, because at the end of the day, that's what I want to share. I feel like, because it's gonna turn your work even better. Because something that I talked about in the post that I did a while back about everything being work, right? Like if your back is shit, right? It's all stiff. You have pain. You can work for longer hours when you are designing. When you are designing in the computer and you start to really get engaged and really start to get into it, and you're really starting to trying to see how you can make it work, right? Your body starts to tense up. That's a natural reaction that happens to your body when you get engaged, right? It's really hard to really stay relaxed when you are working on the computer, and it's natural, but you need to train for that. It's not that, oh no, you need to be aware of being perfectly straight. Like, body doesn't work like that. When you start doing an activity, your body will turn into the shape that makes that action feel more natural and offers less resistance, right? So if your body puts like this, and this is your natural gesture when you are trying to do something creative, let your body do that. It's gonna suffer late, but you need to train for that, right? So have a supple body, a strong supple body that's flexible, right? So then you can stand that, the contortion of your body, the tenseness of your body, because then you have tools to relieve of it with training, right? So whatever physical activity it is, if you're going to the gym, make sure you add some nice stretching, some nice mobility exercises, because a lot of tension gets caught up in the muscles of your body, and you start to get like really tense up, and that tension is what then collaborates into making you more anxious, you know. Yeah. I feel here is saying that you feel so bad when you wake up like at 1. Yeah, that's because, from what I understand, right? Like, please go look up that podcast that I gave you. Um, like, already when you wake up at a certain hour, like your biological clock, it's already offsetted, because um, you wake up at 1 p.m., let's say, and then it's sort of confusing for your body. It's not the same as you when you wake up early, not early, but at the hour that you need to wake up, right? Of course, it varies from everyone. Not everyone is the same, but give it a go. Usually, the people that say that they don't work at 5 p.m. is because, or 6 or 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. is because maybe they've done it once or twice and it sucked. And I agree. If you do it once or twice, it sucks. It's the worst thing. You need to make it a habit, and then it becomes cool. When you wake up, I love it when I get to wake up early, and then it's 10 p.m. and I have already put it some 2 hours of work, and I'm almost not finishing, but I'm close to finishing the day, and it's like 10 p.m. and I get to do whatever after. Like, shit, because I'm saying to you, like, from that point of view, it's not like you need to wake up early to outwork your competition, because it is what it is, and we're gonna get the Bugattis, you know. Not like that. Like, you need to wake up early to then have the time to do the thing that you need to do to accomplish your vision, you know. You need to do the training, you need to call your mother, you need to be with your partner, you need to go take your dog in a nice walk in the park, not like turn around the block, you know what I mean. You need time to then cook some nice food, you know. So it's all like a big plan. It's not just, yeah, you need to wake up early because da 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 and things that I saw on the internet, you know. It's a bit more holistic than that. It's more holistic, but it's as design. Like, this is what we do, you know. Like, we think of this stuff in design when we're making a poster. Why wouldn't we think about it when we live our lives, you know? Like, with the intention. Yeah. Like, that was really crazy when it struck me from this dude that I told you, Ido Portal, that yeah, you could do that. Yeah. Outward the competition is crazy to me. It's crazy. I'm not gonna lie, like, hustle mindset. Like, I was onto that, like, as being younger for sure. But you need to be gentler on yourself, I feel like. But in a good way, like be merciless with yourself, but in a gentler way, right? Yeah, I don't know, like oh, this was a question that I asked on a story, and people were fucking tripping because I asked, like, do you all have like an inner monologue, like you hear a voice in your head, right? Like you think with a voice in your head that's talking to you? Because some people said no, like they don't have inner dialogue, and I was, what the fuck, you know? Sorry, how, what? And the funny thing is like that sometimes I have it in English instead of my native ones. Yeah. I don't know. Like I asked that. Like you think with a voice in your head, like you have inner dialogue, and some said no. Like they don't have. And actually I got a TikTok the other day, like everything, I guess, that said that. Like a psychologist was saying that some people don't have inner dialogue. Like what? You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Like I don't want to delete this that I made. I almost delete the whole batch. I'm gonna save this file. Sorry, I'm talking about the stuff that we did. I'm gonna do stains. I don't know if I'm gonna chop this stream up because it's been really hectic. Like my editor, aka Camila's gonna kill me. Actually, one second. We have the moving cam here. Let's go. Gorda, salva el stream. Camila. That's the editor of the YouTube videos. My girlfriend. So, okay. Do we have more questions? The NPC stuff is wild. I don't like that NPC stuff. I get it, but I don't like it because it's so like calling other people NPC. It's so like, oh, so you are the main character. You know what I mean? I don't like it. Too egotistical. But yeah, some people behave like NPC for sure. Yeah. It's gonna fucking kill me. So okay, guys, if you don't have any more questions, I would go about wrapping this up. I really like doing these streams. Do you like these streams? Maybe we can do more, but just to talk and whatever. Yeah. But okay, we had some nice steady flow of people watching, which is nice. Always going up because the past streams were killer. I still didn't because I like it to do it, but so okay, that was a nice almost 3 hours, my guys. I'm gonna be calling it a day. I hope you liked it. Hope you learned something, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Join the Discord. Go to the store, grab a freebie, grab something not free, whatever. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next one, my guys. You already know how it is. Fuck peace. We should conflict.